Hello, ladies and jets. Today we're going to talk about Inside Out. You remember Inside Out, right? That 2015 movie that everybody praised as being one of the greatest Pixar films ever made, even though it's really not. Okay, I guess I should explain my position before you people jump on my neck. The first Inside Out movie is good, especially compared to what we got before, which was Cars 2, Monsters University, and Brave. So I can see why some people hail it as being one of the greatest Pixar films of the 2010 decade, even though it does have some reasonable competition like Coco and Soul.
We may have our differences, but nothing's more important than family. I'm proud we're family!
So what do you want to be remembered for?
Probably for doing this funny cowboy dance.
Great.
But if we were to put this movie against some of the classic Pixar movies, even some of my personal favorites like Ratatouille, The Incredibles, and WALL-E, yeah, this movie doesn't stand a chance.
Do you really think you can stop me?
But the movie is bright, colorful, it has a relatable story, it's very creative with the human mind, and it does have decent character development. But when you look at this movie on a much deeper level, it's basically Toy Story but focusing on emotions. Which leads us to Inside Out 2. Is it groundbreaking? Is it awesome? Does it manage to break the curse of Pixar sequels being mediocre? How do I feel about this current Pixar movie? It's okay. Yeah, it's okay. Let's jump into the story, I guess. Picking up 2 years after the first movie, Riley is 13 years old and going through puberty, which means, like last time, there are tons of changes that joy, sadness, fear, disgust, and anger are not prepared for.
I'm getting a sense of deja vu. Anyone else getting a sense of deja vu?
The changes include the puberty button, renovations going on in headquarters, the new emotions, and this belief system that encourages Riley's sense of self. It's the strings you saw in the promotional material. But conflicts start to emerge when the new emotions, led by anxiety, start doing things to Riley that the old emotions, led by joy, don't agree with.
Disgusting!
Eventually, this reaches to a head when the old emotions get kicked out of headquarters, so now they need to get back home while getting help from some new faces and running into some trouble along the way because of the reckless decisions made by anxiety.
That's just the same thing that happened in the first movie. It was like crumbling and shit, you know? What could you possibly do with an Inside Out 2? This looks very boring, like it's just gonna rehash the same ideas. Like, whoa, you added new characters though. Okay.
Well, there's your plot summary. Now let's talk about the pros, the cons, and then we'll wrap this all up. As expected, the visuals in this movie look pretty good. That should go without saying at this point. Much like the first film, it can be pretty relatable for some people. As for this movie, it's about Riley dealing with going to high school without her two best friends, so she tries to be friends with this popular girl and her crew, and tries to fit in with them, ditching her old friends in the process.
Oh, wow! That is relatable!
This movie expands on Riley's mind a little bit, like the belief system, the brainstorm scene, the hidden vault, those two characters from Riley's past, which are bootleg knockoff parody characters of Mickey Mouse and Final Fantasy, a small studio that paints Riley's future anxieties, the stream, and the sarcasm.
What is that? It's the sarcasm!
Sarcasm.
Boy, are we so lucky we ran into you guys! Boy, are we so lucky we ran into you guys!
Wow, those guys are jerks. Wow, those guys are jerks.
I really enjoyed how the other emotions like fear, anger, and disgust get to explore the mind with joy, something these three didn't get to do last time because they were sidelined, since the first movie was all about joy and sadness.
We can fix this. We just have to get back to headquarters.
That's long-term memory. You could get lost in there.
Think positive.
Okay. I'm positive you will get lost in there.
The music is pretty good, the voice acting from the recurring cast and the newcomers do a great job. Even the new voice actress of Disgust does a good job. And I think it's for the best that they replace Mindy Kaling, because if I have to hear that grating voice again, I swear to God I'll shove a Q-tip in my ear. And speaking of the characters some more, I think they were well handled in this installment. For some people, not looking at anyone specifically, who think that Pixar just loves destroying their old characters and franchises with their newest installments,
You've annihilated Toy Story, you nullified Incredibles, and now you've dealt serious damage to Cars, and thanks to that, I have absolutely no faith in Inside Out 2. I already had basically none, but this show had the chance to restore a tiny little bit of my hope in the studio's ability to handle its previous originals. Not anymore. The Pixar I fell in love with as a kid is long gone, and we are never, ever getting them back. God damn it!
It's like, holy fuck, calm down.
It's not that important.
Look, I get it. Don't get me wrong, I absolutely get it. It sucks to see a franchise you know and love get destroyed for the sake of a quick buck. But dude, calm down. The reason why this is ultimately absurd to me is because he's calling it quits after he watched Cars on the Road, but he was willing to give Indiana Jones 5 a chance. Like, what?
What?
The reason I say this is because Inside Out 2 is nothing like The Incredibles 2, Toy Story 4, or Cars on the Road. The characters don't get butchered or assassinated, and the relationships and lessons they've learned and gained in the predecessor relatively get carried over into this installment. With that said, I will say, I like your videos, man. I'm subscribed to your content. I like your stuff. I like your long videos. Keep up the good work, because it really shows the passion and dedication you have for your craft. Keep it up, man. I like it. Good stuff. The panic attack scene that Riley had at the end was really well handled, and I like how the popular girl who Riley idolizes is not a total dick. And that's it, really. Let's move on to the cons. The biggest problem with this movie is that it's an exact carbon copy of the first movie. But I guess if I had to pick between a sequel that's an exact carbon copy of the first movie, or a sequel that absolutely destroys everything that was built up from its predecessors, I guess carbon copy is the best one to pick. But that makes watching this movie a total bore since you know where it's gonna go right out of the gate. There are new changes that Riley and the emotions aren't prepared for. Joy and the characters start butting heads over how to handle Riley's situation. The characters get tossed out of headquarters. The characters try to find their way back with this MacGuffin that's very important. They get help by characters from Riley's past. They go to different places. The remaining emotions up in headquarters start causing trouble for the characters trying to get back home. Eventually, they get back to headquarters. Joy learns a lesson while expressing a different emotion other than joy. Bada bing, bada boom, this got $1 billion at the box office.
I'm shocked. Truly I am. This is my shocked face.
Another thing that really bugged me was the voice actor for Fear. Bill Hader didn't come back for this one, so as a result they had to replace him, and it's just night and day when you watch both movies back to back.
Are you kidding me? Out of the gates? This is not happening!
Riley, would you like to tell us something about yourself?
No! Pretend we can't speak English. If we can't follow the stream, we don't know where we're going. And if we don't know where we're going, we can't follow the stream! It is an endless loop of tragedy and consequence!
And one more thing that's more of a me problem. It's not really a problem with the movie, it's me. It's really no fault on the movie, it's just my personal gripes with it. I feel like the movie doesn't really grab me emotionally like Pixar's previous works. But honestly, that's a moot point considering I didn't really feel all that emotional when it came to the first Inside Out. And that's really it. Let's wrap this up. So yeah, Pixar made another cash grab sequel. And it's basically a Finding Dory instead of a Toy Story 4 and Incredibles 2. But if I had to pick between this or Kung Fu Panda 4 or Despicable Me 4, I'll pick this movie any day of the week. And that's all I have to say. If you guys have your own personal feelings or opinions about Inside Out 2 or Inside Out 1, tell me in the comments section below, and I'll catch you guys later.